the end of the last video, which for you was last Saturday. For me, it was yesterday. We got the top row of blocks on there. I was planning on taking today off, being Sunday, but you know what? I just can't get this out of my mind. I want it sorted out. And it does look like we've got some rain coming on Tuesday. So my plan is now a little bit late to start. It's late morning basically, but again, I'd rather just get this out of the way now. I want to get that last blocking cut and put in place, and then I want to render the inside of this, and then later in the week I can be collecting some rocks and backfill the rest of that. So So here's the thing. The builder is due to start tomorrow. I haven't heard from him in 2 weeks. And you know my experience with builders. And that's making me very nervous right now, which is probably good that I'm doing down that hole just to take my mind off of it. We're also going into the winter, obviously, which means we're going to get rain. So this does need to be done really quickly. Now, I'm putting my trust in this person. I've got to clean up a little bit of stuff from the inside, the last few bits, and I'll do that after I've done the inside of that hole or first thing in the morning. And well, with a bit of luck, he'll turn up. That's the first thing. The second thing is he going to do a good job? I really hope so, but I've got to put my trust in somewhere. And then if he can do this, well, then it's all over to me to carry on and it'll all be worth it. But we'll see how we get on. Right, I'm going to have a quick cup of tea, put the washing on, get into my gear, mix up cement and get on with this. Spirit level mallet. Doesn't help, I've got to go up and down the ladder. Every 2 minutes. What a really bad idea that was. Really bad idea. I'm just too excited to get on with this, but I am not going to ruin what I did last week with this because I'm proud of that. So I have decided I'm going to scrape this off. Oh, it is looking really good though. This would have been rectifiable, by the way, but yeah, I want to do it right. I love these old cars, they're brilliant. So this is the builder, turned up, it's Monday. He's not going to do any work today because we got rain last night and tomorrow, but he's just dropping some stuff off. So as far as I'm concerned, number one, he's turned up. Number two, his daughter called me this morning to say that he was going to turn up but not start until Wednesday. So a lot of weight off of my mind. The next stage, of course, is to get that roof sorted out, and hopefully by the end of this video we'll get some of that roof down. Not the best time of year to be doing this, granted, with the rain, but you know, never a good time, is there? But oh, that ticks off 2 boxes for me. Communication. Without it, you get nowhere. Oh, look at that classic. That's called character.
What is it?
Original. Wow. So he's had that car now for 40 years. He's done all the mechanical stuff on it. Let's hope he's as good on the roof as he is with that. Yeah. Okay, I think I really should explain what's going on down here. Yeah, okay, well, we all make mistakes, don't we? And I really could have easily have taken this out of the video. You'd be none the wiser, but I'm a firm believer in keeping things real, and we all learn from our mistakes. That's how we improve. The quality is how you deal with it. So as you saw, I was putting the cement on the wall, and then I realised pretty much straight away that starting on a Sunday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, knowing this time of year it's going to get dark early, putting myself under that pressure to do all this lot, I would have had to have done it in 2 stages, and I didn't want to join in it. So I carried on for a little bit longer as a bit of practice, I guess, and then I decided to take it down. Now on my second house I had an extension. The guys that came to help me on that one, because it needed signing off, one of them was really good at rendering and he showed me how to do it. Old school maybe, but how I was doing it wasn't actually the wrong way. Doing it like that really helps it stick to the wall. Now this is where the mistake came into it, because what they would have done is gone all the way around, and what I did was try and perfect it as I went along. And as you know, you can't get things perfect the first time round. It takes patience and layering, and well, that's the difference. Using a straight edge, once they got it all on the wall, they would have done that, taking off the high points, and then you just go back and fill in any of the low points. Now with a plastic float, which I don't have here, they would then go over that surface until they got it perfect, and then, oh, it's back here, 1 second, and then they would have just filled in where they needed to continue it. Now what I discovered, as this is a round wall, I'm using this, and when I was doing that I realized I can get a really good finish because our arms naturally want to go in a circle. Perfect for this. And if any of you have ever rendered a flat wall before, you'll know just how difficult it is to get it flat without any waves in it. Okay, one thing I didn't point out there, you see all the way around the outside, I mixed up all the stuff that I took off the wall in some water, get it nice and runny, splattered the whole lot, which I must admit at that point felt quite good, although quite messy. The purpose of that is when it dries, I'm going to have a really rough surface on that block, and that means when I go back to do what I was doing yesterday, it will stick to the wall a lot easier and hopefully speed the process up. So if I start early enough during the later part of this week, I stand a fighting chance of getting it finished. Whoa. Well, I've got to be completely honest, my heart is pounding right now. The guys have turned up and well, I'm just going to leave it to them. I'm not going to interfere. As much as I really like to get involved in these things, and begrudgingly I'm having to give this part of the renovation to someone else to do, but I'm being wise and I think it's the right thing to do. I can only hope now it is Wednesday that we can get a little bit of work done this week, and this is potentially the last time we're going to see the roof looking the way it is now. So wish me luck. Oh, I hear noise. I think my best bet is to step away and walk the dogs. Come on, boys, let's go. The end of day one. How did the guys get on? I've been deliberately keeping out of their way. I don't really want to be standing over their shoulders. Obviously, I want to let them get on and feel comfortable. But I will do a little check from time to time. I'm standing at the front door. So far, wow. Certainly gone a lot lighter in here. All right, so it's probably going to take 3 or 4 days to get the whole lot off, but we're seeing something which is really good. And of course, once the roof's off, that wall, well, all of the walls, this wall, the one behind me, this was the original exterior of the house, so obviously that's not coming down, but all the brick walls in here will all be removed. And I think around about now, where I'm standing, I'll just show you a little glimmer as to the possibilities. I don't think I've shown this one before. Good morning. Guys started nice and early this morning, 8 o'clock now, so that's good. It's a lovely morning at the moment. Boys are loving it. Just having a little walk up to the barragem. Yeah, very nice. Now, Wednesday last week, it was looking more like this. And now, of course, with that heavy rain that we had on Thursday, that's really topped it up. Probably got another 4 feet before we get to the top of the bank. I've never seen it go over. And of course, next year, because we couldn't do this year, missed out. The machine was broken, which is such a shame. We're going to see if we can dig down more and get it wider, hold more water. And it'd be really interesting to see after that just how much water remains in there at the end of the summertime. But it'd be good to clear this out anyway. I can hear them on the roof all the way over here. It's quite a way away. We're on top of the brow of the trail, which hasn't overgrown yet, which is fantastic. Goes down there a little bit. Plan is to get all the way to the top, obviously, but I need to hold fire in that. Now would be a perfect time of year to do this because everything's nice and soft. But when we get to this stage, then I'm going to really enjoy it. Anyway, I was on YouTube last night, the feed, a little thumbnail on there. I spotted this handsome chap, and but it wasn't one of my videos, so of course I checked it out. Content-wise, well, YouTubers, they have all sorts of stuff, don't they? And it caters for everybody, and everyone has different likes and dislikes. But this channel dedicates itself to the revenue of other YouTubers, and it had one video all on my channel, which was really interesting. At first I was taken back by it, and then I was disappointed because what income apparently I earned from YouTube AdSense on there was so far off. I was gutted, to be honest with you, but maybe I should be honoured that they made a video on me. But creaming off the back of someone else's hard work, I never like that. And they used an AI voice as well. I was just hiding behind someone else's voice. It's just, I was really, nearly 1,000 views on there, and I can only assume if anyone was interested in watching that, they must have watched at least one of my videos, and hopefully it's not someone who watches them regularly, because that's really creepy. That's really creepy. Now, I'm not interested in what anybody earns. I'm not interested in their political or religious leanings, not remotely. And I think most people are like that, but it just creates division, arguments, and there's enough of that in this world. And of course, when it comes to financial, then that's going to create jealousy and envy. And as it's so far off, I can only assume that all of the other videos that person has done is completely wrong, which kind of makes that channel null and void. But people do take it seriously from time to time. Anyway, back to something more lovely. Look at that view. Well, I've done quite a lot of that before. So I've got one guy on the roof taking it down, you can hear that. Another guy inside there wheelbarrowing out the rubble, and this guy over here who's doing the wiring for the rebar. That's going to be for the columns. Once that's all down, the columns will be set in place, boarded up, concrete poured down there. That obviously needs to go off. There'll be a ring beam around the top, and then block and beam. We'll get some insulation, then there'll be more cement on top of rebar, and then we slightly pitch so water will run off in two different directions. One of them is going to be going here into this tank. Now, regarding this, I've decided I'm just going to hold fire until next week, early next week, because there's so much going on behind me. Obviously, I want to make sure that I'm just letting it all sink in, and I want to make sure the dogs are going to be safe and not walk around there. And if I'm down there, I can't keep my eye on them. Now, I get a lot of questions, and I do answer as many as I can within the videos. First one is, why round? Well, I've decided on round just as a personal preference, nothing else. Why am I not coming up higher? There's two reasons for that. The first one is that I don't want the eyesore. It's so beautiful around here. I don't want to be staring at concrete ring above ground. Just such an eyesore. And I don't need to get any more water in there. If I wanted to get more water in, I would have made the hole bigger. Why am I not putting the concrete rings down there like I used on the well? Because to get ones that are that big are really expensive. And I wanted to do this kind of a traditional way. I learn, I get experience from it, I get fun from doing that. I know I'm putting a lot of effort into it, but it's all part of the experience and the learning curve, and I get to be proud of what I'm doing. Next question is, what am I going to do with regard to keeping that water in there and not seeping through the concrete blocks? Well, I'm going to be rendering it, as you know, and there's a product I'm going to be using over the top of the meshing that you saw on the previous house. That will hold the water in. It's what all of the people here use, so I'm trusting that that's the good way to go. The pump, why am I not putting a pump down there, and why didn't I allow space for it? I've got another idea down there. I'll go into that in the next video, but hopefully we'll be able to get water out of there, no problem. Next one, why am I not putting a plastic drum down there? To get one that holds that amount of water is going to cost thousands of euros, a real lot of money. And just dropping one in there and backfilling it, where is the satisfaction in that? Yeah, no, doing it this way just feels like the right way for me. And I've got to point this out again, I'm not showing anybody how to do anything. They're not tutorials. I'm just documenting what I'm doing. I will make mistakes and I will rectify them. There's a hell of a lot I need to be getting on with around here. I know the guys are doing that, but the rest of it is over to me. So We'll just see. There's going to be a lot of things happening in these videos, and I will be doing my best to make sure that I do a good job. I think that answers most of the questions in there. If I think of anything else, I'll mention it next week. These are the original tiles from the corridor. I quite like them, not for in the house. I can use them somewhere else. I particularly like this one. Yeah, I think that's nice. Unfortunately, there's only a handful down there. Oh, they love sleeping in there now during the day. Oh, he's come out to join us. Got 6 columns done here. This is, I think that's 14 mil and 10 mil there. These larger ones, that's for the ring beam. Got one complete one, almost there on a second one, so they're going to need another 2 or 3. Got all the rubble down there. That'll all be taken away pretty soon. We've got the sand and the stones, the britta. I've been out this morning with the dogs. Guys, I think, are out for lunch. So we'll have a little nose around before they come back. Get off, get off, get off. Down, 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 down. Well, I think I'm just about to head out for a walk with the dogs. They're almost done for the day. They've done quite well. We'll have a look tomorrow and see exactly how far they got. But you know what, just being up on the roof there now, obviously as time went on, I started to really get concerned about that ceiling and the possibilities of the roof falling in. But seeing how much effort they're putting into getting that off there, it just goes to show how strong that roof is. I kind of want to get involved in it, but I'm holding back because I'm paying them to do it and there are other things I can be doing. But it's really difficult to just step away. On the other hand, it's actually quite nice to get someone else doing it and not me for a change. But yeah, we'll see where we get next week. I'm hoping to get the whole roof off in a couple more days, and then, well, they get it off in a couple more days, and then get the interior walls out, and then we can have a good look around there, and I can think about laying out all the rooms and how I will like it. And so I don't know what ordering they're going in, but it should be fun to watch.